Okay, welcome back to Miss Curtis's art class. So today's lesson is all about fish. We are going to be using our hands to make a fish that is swimming in the sea. We are also going to use our fingertips to trace and make sea life at the bottom. So plants, possibly coral, and even draw some of these bubbles you can see in the water. Okay, so let's get started. All you're going to need today is a piece of paper and some coloring supplies. So if you have crayons, that's perfect. If you have markers or colored pencils, that works too. And like I said, we're gonna get started. And if for some reason you don't have those pencil, you can use pencil. So I chose to make my fish pink in my last picture. So I'm gonna show you how we're going to do that. So your hands might get a little bit messy in terms of having marker on them, but that's fine. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to put your hand that you do not usually draw with on the paper and position it like so. You're gonna widen your fingers and just press your hand to the paper. So this is going to make it look like your fish is swimming, okay? I'm going to use the marker of choice. So again, I chose pink. If you want your fish to be blue or green or purple, you can pick whatever color that you want. So I am putting my hand towards, kind of towards the top of the paper so I have enough room to make that greenery at the bottom. And then I'm just holding my hand down and I'm simply taking my marker and tracing my hand. I'm using the tip of the marker to trace my hand, and I'm going around each finger individually. Notice that I am not lifting my marker up. If I take my marker off the paper, I won't be making any more tracing lines. So take your time pressing that marker to the paper around each finger. Coming around the thumb. And you might find this a little challenging to do, so like I said, take your time. Now, I need to close this space right here. So you can see that I outlined my hand, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to make a curving line. So last week we talked about lines. So I'm going to make a curving line, and this is going to make the head of my fish. So just like so, I made a curved line. Okay, the next step is you are going to color in this fish. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Using marker, I am actually going to simply take my time going back and forth. I call this the lawnmower line effect. Kind of looks like lawnmower lines, right? That's you might see in the grass. This is my favorite way to color actually, because you can just take the marker and go back and forth. But if you are using crayons, you're simply going to color in like so. Try to get all the white spots, meaning that you're adding color to each part of the image. Okay. I am also going around each spot. If you go outside the lines, it's okay. You can go and correct it by just kind of like going there and filling in that area. Okay. Like I said, take your time. Coloring's a lot of fun. It should be enjoyable and relaxing for you. You notice I'm using the tip to get these little spots that I missed. Okay, I'm gonna speed this up and you can see that I'm gonna finish coloring it in, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, all done with that. So that's our fish. Now there's something very important missing to this fish, and that is some eyes and a smile face. So I'm going to use a black marker for this. Okay, and I'm going to give a nice little smile here and an eyeball, and you can do that right now as well. All right, next step is going to be to make some of that floating greenery at the bottom of the sea. So you might see that if you've ever watched like Finding Nemo or something, you notice that the fish are like swimming through all this plant life at the bottom. Sometimes it's coral, sometimes it's just like I said, some greenery at the bottom of the sea. So I'm just using the tips of my fingers, and that's why you can see on my fingers here, it's a little bit green about halfway up. So I'm going to place the tips of my fingers at the bottom of my paper, and this time I'm going to just angle them both times. I'm gonna make it kind of look like there's some like movement in the water. So I'm gonna place my fingers just like so, and again, this is like the top half portion of my hand, and I'm not gonna move them while I'm tracing them. I'm going to go around one finger and then around another. Up and then up again and down, over. Awesome. So there we go. There's one. I'm going to do the next one over here. And the same thing. And I use my right hand when I draw, so that's why I'm tracing my left hand. So whatever hand that you use when you write or you draw, that's the hand that you want to use when you're doing this project. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color these in green. So I'm going to show you again how we color, and then you can color as well. Okay, so I'm just going to fill this in. These are washable markers, so if I go off onto the edge of the table, it's okay. You can always wash it off. Just obviously try and stay on the paper the best you can. If you're not using something that's washable, then you definitely want to put something under your paper, and please be careful. Okay, so I'll speed this up and you can see how this turns out. Awesome, so now you can really see that everything's coming together. The last step is going to be to color in your water, and I like to make some bubbles. So bubbles are a circle shape, and you can make them all different sizes. So maybe I have a medium-sized bubble and a smaller one, and then maybe there's a big one right here. And I like to have them kind of going up in a pattern, so, or like a movement. So I'm gonna have them maybe go this way and then curve that way and then up, because that's kind of like how they float in the water. So have fun making your bubbles, and again, try making them different sizes. Okay, go ahead and make your bubbles. The next step would be to color in the background. So I'm using a colored pencil, it's a little bit lighter, and you can use whatever you have. Again, if you have crayons or colored pencils, marker, that's fine. So I'm gonna simply start by shading in from the top going down, and I'll show you how I do that. I'm holding my paper tight, and then I'm just using my other hand and filling in all of the space. Okay. Whoop. Going around the bubbles, trying to leave the bubbles white. And then I'm going to go around my fish. I don't want to color over my fish. So once I get closer to my fish, I'm gonna hold my pencil a little bit tighter and closer so that I have more control of it. And go around my fish, and same with the greenery down here. And that is how I'm going to color in my background. So again, I will speed this up, and then I can't wait to see how your fish come out. Okay, and just like that, the background is colored in. We did some blue. So go ahead and color in your background, and we will share at the end. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I look forward to next week's lesson with you.